Let's talk.
The politics of our nation.
They have that right to protest. There is no need to go there and now start shooting.
The current affairs of our state.
Everywhere we have gone to, the dirt of Abuja is not on the surface.
All at your fingertips on your Let's Talk station.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Allow us to save you the stress.
Count on us for your daily dose of information and current affairs.
You ask for it, the conversation and more on Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Morning Crossfire on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
It's 6:16 a.m. It's time to get into what the news of the headlines are saying for today, the 28th day in the month of April, 2025.
We're going to go
hot and fresh off the press. These are the front pages.
We're going to go through various papers this morning. The Punch, the Vanguard, Daily Trust, The Guardian, and This Day. Let's get things started with what the Daily Trust has got for us this morning. And it has this major headline. 15 months after, EFCC yet to release probe report on Edu. Sadia, experts flay delay. Kwankwaso's political future in limbo as defections rock NNPP. Gunmen kill 16 in Adamawa, Benue. Manufacturers battle for survival as energy cost rises. Plateau communities pick pieces after deadly attacks. Federal government call to action over WHO Gavi's alert on disease resurgence. Weeks to common entrance exams, FCT teachers strike lingers. Hunger worsens in IDP camps as UN agencies cut operations. These and many more on the front page of the Daily Trust.
Moving on now to the front page of the Punch newspapers. A cover story here says, defections. PDP calls emergency meeting to halt Hurricane Tinubu. That's what it's called. You want to take a look at the Punch and get details of that story. U.S. reports calls out Nigeria's trade barriers and port corruption. NDLEA seizes 1 billion naira drugs in 80-room hotel raid. Heritage Bank, NDIC begins 46.6 billion naira payout to top depositors. Fitch upgrades Lagos, Kaduna, 2 other states' investment rating. Ondo doctor, others face charges over abortion for 10-year-old victim. And finally, on the front page of the Punch newspapers, FG targets a 70% local pharmaceutical production. These and many more stories you'll find on the Punch newspapers today.
Moving on now to what this day has got. Presidency. Democracy not under threat. Rejects claims of one-party state. Nasima. OPS worry over World Bank's 56% poverty rise projection for 2027. Sanwo-Olu to Obi. You feel Nigeria's poverty lack moral rights to criticize federal government. Senate advocates urgent budgetary reforms to consolidate Nigeria's economy. UK envoy hails partnership with Nigeria over $150 million Charterhouse Lagos School. First Lady's initiative empowers 500 Edo women in 3 senatorial districts. Trouble brews over planned boycott of May Day parade by NLC. NAPTIP receives over 200 victims of human trafficking from Ghana. Supreme Court overturns 22 trillion naira judgment against Nigerian bank. Federal government approves establishment of Textile Development Board, $90 billion agri-business livestock development plan. Edun, Nigeria's reforms hailed globally. Next target is 7% growth. And finally, Cardoso, economic reforms paving way for long-term growth. These and many more on the front page of this day.
Moving on to the front page of the Guardian newspapers, a cover story here says a solar panel import ban may trigger 150% price surge, worsen energy cost crisis. Don military attire, army urges Nigerians. Nigeria won't be great without a Greek, says Afe Babalola. NLC cancels May Day celebrations in Rivers and Edo. No cash above $10,000 must leave Nigeria without declaration, the EFCC warns. Tompolo endorses Tinubu for second term, says Fubara will return. Presidency, civil society clash over Tinubu's alleged one-party state agenda. Over 80 northern communities under ISWAP control, says group. And finally, on the front page of the Guardian newspapers, Fulani herders get 48-hour ultimatum to leave Benue community. These and many more headlines you'd find on the Guardian newspaper today.
And our final stop right now is the Vanguard. Outrage over World Bank's report on poverty. We must resist Tinubu's one-party state agenda. Akinola, Odinkalu, Jinadu, others. Tinubu to opposition. Don't blame me for inability to manage your affairs. Police declared me wanted without invitation, daughter of ABC transport owner. Crisis. We know our enemies within Osun PDP. Adeleke. Fleeing woman arrested for poisoning 65-year-old man to death in Lagos. Don't bring old PDP habits to APC, Ned Nwoko tells Delta governor. Delta defections. Omo Agege welcomes Delta Governor Okowa to APC. 2027, ex-Buhari campaigner wants Jonathan to join contest. Ex-advisor writes Tinubu step aside in 2027. Democracy under threat. Leading civil society activists in Nigeria warn Tinubu against one-party state. These and many more on the Vanguard this morning.
Time to get to your reactions. You can join the conversation live on Facebook or on YouTube or streaming live at Nigeria Info Abuja, or you can call the numbers 0700 951 0000. 0809 597 4869. On WhatsApp, it's 080 999 30137. You can send a voice note, send a message, or call the WhatsApp number.
We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at this time. You can go onto our live feed at Nigeria Info Abuja to watch the show and be a part of the conversation. We'll go on a quick breather. When we come back, we'll get to your reactions and your calls.
Shows, new host, new realities, true conversations, trustworthy ideas, shared passionately on your number one talk station of the nation. Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
This is Nigeria Info.
is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This 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 is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Democracy is under siege, according by the NGO, because according to the civil society, because looking at what is going on in this country is very unfortunate. Our politics have become a do or die affair. What we have now is called the politics of safety and prosperity, where you see a president removing a democratically elected governor. You see, in fact, this is unfortunate. This is an aberration. And this is a rape on our constitution. This is a serious operation, and we have to do something fast. Because these politicians are not ready to carry out reforms. And if reforms are not put in place, any reform, credible reform for the next election, no amount of coalition, merger, will save this country. Because what we are going to see is 2007, if we don't carry out reforms now, I don't know what will happen because we are sitting on a gunpowder. We have to do something fast because these politicians have messed up the democratic system, and it's very unfortunate.
All right. Thank you. Good morning.
All right,
right
do
back.
to call us back.
Let's go
Let's
into
take some of your comments on Facebook, yes?
the live feed. Yes, let's do that.
All right, on Facebook, Oza Francis Namani, watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State, says, good morning, Dickie Itodo and Gabriella. Nigeria must revert to agriculture as her mainstay, while government should provide an enabling environment to address the hunger in the land, is what Oza Francis says. Jibrin Garba Shafa, good morning to you. He's watching us live from Oka in Anambra State. Adam Smith Mendes says he's watching us live from Southern Kaduna. Good morning to you. Chukwugozie Ono says is watching live from Uburu, Ebonyi State, and says hunger worsens in IDPs. What do you expect? Nigerians are facing hunger. God bless Nigeria and Nigerians. And Dr. Mrs. Umar Lebara from Owerri says, sad that majority of Nigerians are living below poverty level, and a country that is blessed with human and natural resources. The rise in poverty is a consequence of corrupt leadership that denies people access to basic infrastructure. Instead of government to be proactive in implementing programs that would ameliorate the suffering of the people, it devotes more time in impoverishing them with bad policies. Let government create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. We all need to go back to farm as our leaders have failed us. Let there be a paradigm shift so that lives of ordinary Nigerians will change for the better, is what Dr. Mrs. Umar Olebara says. Now, I've heard that that suggestion one too many times, where people say, oh, we need to go back to farming. We need to go back to farming in order to save our economy and save ourselves. Do you agree for that to be true, though?
I mean, that's a constant narrative that has been playing out in Nigeria one time too many. But the concern is, how safe are the farms? Those who are farming right now can't even reap the benefits of their hard work due to the constant attacks that they face, depending on the part of the country where this is happening. And there was this initiative put forward by the president's wife at the time, wherein she suggested tried to encourage people to have
farm in their backyards,
gardens, more like
so
it,
maybe
right?
not necessarily a farm,
a garden where you could put like sand in sacks and grow. But how many people have these spaces in their apartments to even get into that? And how suitable is that to feeding somebody? You might get a bit of little perishables here and there, but is it sustainable enough? You know, is the concern. I mean, we still need the farmers who would grow things in large scale and be able to, you know, feed the nation. But then again, there is the worry about how expensive these items are once they get transported due to the taxation that happens from point to point. So there's a lot of, you know, chain reaction to the action and inaction of the average person and those who are in charge of ensuring that Nigeria doesn't go hungry and there is food security. The president recently spoke about an emergency on food insecurity. What is being done about that? We see this thing spoken about, but the action that should match, you know, what has been said doesn't follow through, and it's
maybe
a bit
as
concerning.
Nigerians we need to also take action by starting off on our gardens and just maybe reduce the burden on the level of food insecurity that Nigeria is currently facing.
How much can you grow in that garden anyway? Where's the space
you can grow
to do
your
that?
Tomatoes, you can grow your onions, you can grow your
now if you your onions, if you don't have your own house, if you're paying rent, right, you want to also be considerate of other flat members or tenants, depending on the kind of house that where you live in.
Maybe house owners, landlords and landladies need to put into consideration garden spaces. I'm just saying, if we're looking at,
do you know how much they would charge you for that? Do you know how much the average rent is going for right now? Wait, now, do you know how much rent is?
That should inadvertently reduce the price of rent.
You don't pay rent. That's why we can tell that you don't pay rent.
Wow.
Because if you pay rent,
shots fired.
And if your landlord decides
how
to
do you not
add
pay rent though?
Because you're saying your landlord should add a garden to you. Yeah, if he adds a garden, he's going to charge you for that garden. If you go around the city right now, even in the outskirts, you check how much a 1-bedroom is or is self-contained.
Yeah,
you will be shocked. It's ridiculous,
especially in Abuja.
Then he now adds a garden to it. My guy, I'm not sure
you're not a believer.
You're ready for that price, but I mean, it's something that can be tried out.
Right.
If you can have a garden, perhaps, and let us know how it's going if you do have one. Welcome.
Good morning.
We can barely hear you. Good morning. I'm not sure. You're ready for that price. Very well, thank you. How are you? There's the sound in your background. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
okay.
I just put it off.
All right, go ahead. Welcome.
Yeah, AJ Gabriella, the only AJ I wanted to speak on radio. God bless you.
Good morning. You're welcome. Welcome.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Pastor Ige calling from Dubai. I think our people should be very, very wise. The Benin community give elders. For instance, I want to cultivate their land. It's not possible because these guys are too smart. Last time I went to Benin State, Ogbadibo local government. The research available that shows that Fulani Esmes has bought almost 50% of the land from the community. As they are coming into the community, they buy the land. You sow out your land because of money, because people plan their game very well. So they should be wiser and look for another alternative. You can remove them from their land. You have to be very wise. And government need to do the needful to protect the life of Nigeria. You cannot inflict anybody from any community. The solution to this problem lies in the hands of the government. The community cannot do anything. Nobody can issue to sack anybody from any community in Nigeria. As I'm concerned for today, according to Nigerian law.
All right.
That is someone. Lastly, Nigerian citizens should rise up, please, to fight for Nigeria now, not tomorrow, because Tinubu will wait 2027. All his plan is working for him. We should start the protest from the social media. We take it to National Assembly and ask them to give us a credible electoral system in Nigeria. If not, Tinubu will get third time in Nigeria. Mark my words.
All right.
Probably we approve it. Nigeria shall be great again. My name is Pamsije from Dubai. My regard to my twin boy, Dr. Kendi Alariwaju. Happy wonderful celebration, man. Sir.
Have a good day. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, NJ Gabriella.
Good morning.
Dikin Itodo, the Agaba is the one and only.
Welcome, sir.
I greet you. My name is Salasi. I greet Pastor TJ from Dubai. Abubakar from Gogwala Dagwazamat.
Welcome.
Donatus from Niger State. I want to talk about the insecurity. We just heard of killings in Adamawa and Benue again. Is there no any day that you listen to this radio station without hearing all this ugly news? Every blessed day you must hear killings in one state or the other. Can they use the intelligence? Top all this thing. Can they use their security apparatus, the architecture, the intelligence, and everything whatsoever to see that they are, protecting this life that has been lost every day in our land? And some in Benue State, they are giving them ultimatum. How will you give someone ultimatum after you have sold the land to the person and you are trying to send the person away? It can't happen. So even Autumn tried that, you couldn't get it. So there's no way you can sing after selling land to me and you say I should leave the community. It can never be done. The only thing is that they should see how they protect themselves and they protect the ancestral land to see that these people, now we are approaching rainy season now, and look at with the level of insecurity now. How can we protect? How can we get most of the food being consumed in this country is being produced by this local farmer, and they have been chased from their ancestral home. They must do the needful when you come to the security. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Todo.
Welcome.
Good morning, Sammy.
Good morning.
My name is Jamala. Good morning to the stream listeners. Is Sammy there in the studio?
It's Gabriella, not Somi.
You keep calling me Somi.
Yeah, I was actually calling because...
Go ahead.
What's the name again, please?
Gabriella.
Wow.
Gabriella.
Oh.
Yes. Not Somi.
I don't know. Gabriella, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I don't know. It sounds in my head when I listen to you talk, like to me, honestly. So, like, I just listen to it. Like, I don't pay attention to the name while both of you are talking. You understand? But it sounds like, sorry about that.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Good morning. I actually called because of you, because I tend to believe you. The farming, this thing, no matter how small you have space you have in your space, this small place will form a unit of a larger community. So even if it's tomatoes, it gets to a point people that has larger spaces, they produce more, and we have millions of Nigerians. Eventually, by it will get to a time like we have more than enough for everybody. So I think I support you on that. It's workable.
Right.
Don't mind me to do say it's not doable. Good morning. I just hope we get our priority rights and fix this country once and for all.
All right. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to the WhatsApp platform and take some of your voice notes at this time. Good morning.
Good morning, Nigeria Info. I'm very happy that the way you people are bringing your newspaper review. Nigeria Info, let us tell ourselves the truth. the killing. The problem I observe there is that you see our security agency, the way they are doing is not their fault. The fault is from our federal government, the way they treat them. Someone will go and arrest somebody that have killed many of their colleagues. And the end of the day, they will release that person and tell you that he's a repentant person. Those that have killed, do you know what their family are suffering? Their children. At the end of the day, the federal government will not compensate them. And which morale do you think other ones will have to go and fight again? So that is the issue. Not that our security agents cannot deal with this matter the way it's supposed to. Let's ask our federal government what is happening. Because some of them are using it to make money, which all of us knows. Let's tell ourselves the truth.
Good morning, Nigeria Info. Good morning, Abuja. My name is Chukwudi, listening from Southeast Abia State. I'm not against any governor defecting from any party that he like to defer to. But what am I against? Why are you defecting with the party's mandate? You're supposed to drop. You're supposed to resign as a governor. Now you not defect to any party you want to defect. But another thing that I want to ask, our constitution, we need to work very harder. If you want to defect from any party, you are supposed to drop anything concerning the party. You now go. But it's not my problem. My problem is INEC. If INEC can be able to conduct a free and fair election, there is no any governor from any APC that can win any state from South and Southeast. So they work now for INEC for them to do their normal job. The defection is not our problem. And for INEC for them to do their normal job, if they do their normal job, other parties will clear PC from South and Southeast. Now, there's nothing, we don't recognize that PC from South and Southeast. I'm telling you honestly. Well done, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts right there.
Now, I mean, talking about INEC, I remember just about last week or 2 weeks ago, there were conversations about the fact that the reason why Nigeria's politics is the way it is in terms of the challenges is because INEC is not really pulling their weight regarding, delivering free and fair elections. And it makes me wonder, because again, the INEC is supposed to be an independent body. Mm-hmm. It is an independent body, supposedly. So, I mean, what kind of demands could be made of the INEC to deliver on a free, not just free, fair or credible elections, but to also deliver on the people's mandate?
Many people believe that the only way that they can start to believe that it's indeed independent is if the president and those who are in the background and not in charge of deciding who the next INEC chairman is. So maybe it should become an elective position where a selected number of people decide by voting due to representation who should be the next INEC chairman. Then that could be a path to trusting the entire system, the body again. Because a lot of people have various questions as to if whatever elections are conducted today, they are free, fair, and represent what exactly the people voted for. I think that's really important as well. And to constantly communicate their moves in clear terms so Nigerians understand what exactly is happening. And when you make a promise, keep to that promise. And if you can't keep to the promise, give valid reasons why the promise failed and what you're doing to ensure that in the next circle, you do better and improve on what you have going.
Interesting thoughts there. Let's get back to some of your messages on WhatsApp and we'll get back to the calls. This one here says, this is from Jacob Ode in Mandela. He says, I weep seeing PDP being placed on oxygen, and unfortunately today's politicians who have used her to attain the level they have abandoned and left her in this helpless situation because of the available alternatives. Mother PDP, if you survive, shine your eyes to see clearly who loves you. But if you eventually give up the ghost, let your spirit haunt those who have used and dumped you. I wish you speedy recovery. That message is from Jacob Ode in Madala. And Zax from Kuchikau says, please, SON and other standard regulation bodies should be intentional to make sure the electric poles are of standard. we using the Kefi phase of electric power supply. Anytime there's heavy wind and rainfall, we always experience falling down and collapsing of our poles. Even right now, we do not have power supply for days because of the same issue. And that's in Kefi. Oh, in Kuchikau, I see. Using the Kefi phase. All right, thank you so much for sharing that. And this says Comrade Oshomole stated in clear terms some years back that once a politician parts to the APC, their sins are forgiven automatically. This goes a long way to prove why accused politicians by the EFCC and the ICPC keep defecting to the party. I would say that this is an indirect step and strategy towards a one-party state, even if they keep showing denial. If this persists, may God help us. David from Mbappe.
And Badmus Sumbo on our YouTube says some people or politicians are accusing Tinubu of one-party state. Is he the one calling for one-party state, or some politicians are greedy? So why blame Tinubu is a question that Badmus Sumbo ends the particular message with. And guarding or not, the government in position, this is from Issa in Maraba, has betrayed the masses, hunger and insecurity. We and the government are not ready head on to deal with the economic kwashoko in the land. We are just leaving by God's grace. The government knows they are unpopular and will do anything to remain in power till eternity, is how he ends his thoughts. All right, and this one right here from Gio Iguag says the mass defection from the PDP to the APC is a law of karma. What Atiku, Erifai, Saraki, and so on did to former president in 2014 and formed the new PDP then is the same thing that is playing back right now. But as for Tinubu, he has not offended anyone but supported candidates in his own party. So God is bringing people to support him as reward, is how Gio ends that message. We don't want INEC chairman to be elected, but let INEC chairman be appointed by the national NJC, is a thought that Ambassador Afam is sharing.
Really?
Well, the only way to guarantee INEC independence is for political parties to nominate and vote for whomever they choose among all the political parties, is what Kashim Isa Adaji shares as his thoughts. We've got a few, okay, we're going to get to that in a bit. A few more voice notes right here. And Yakubu in Gwagwalada says public primary school pupils and FCT have been kept out of school since March. And the area council chairman are very comfortable with that. There is no hope for the people or the children of the poor masses at all in this country. If this can happen in the FCT, then the worst should be expected. May God save the poor masses from our politicians. Concerns around this FCT schools. And, you know, schools resume today for the new term. I believe this is the third term that's starting today for some schools, while some still have a week to go. And it's concerning how every now and again, there's conversation around schools in FCT being closed for ridiculous reasons, maybe delay in fees or an increment or something. And recently I listened to the FCT minister speak about the fact that he had disbursed funds to the chairman and he can't seem to understand why they're still holding on to it. And he called for a meeting with them. I don't know if that meeting has happened yet or when it will happen or what is delaying exactly for this situation to be sorted out in good time. The children cannot be kept at home because, I mean, it's worrying how things can play out. I know the teachers have their concerns about getting paid. They need to get paid in good time. And not just getting paid, but all that is owed them. They also have bills. They have lives to live. They have children in schools as well, whose bills they also have to pay. So be unfair to hold on to a teacher's salary for whatever reason. It makes no sense. I'm hoping that the FC minister follows this to the latter and ensures that this chairman across the councils pay what is required of them.
And I think the teachers also had, like, you know, a set of demands of the government that they're requiring to be answered before they even call off the strike. But at the end of the day, this just boils down to one question as to why must people go on a strike action before their voices are heard, before what is due them or owed them is given them. And even sometimes these strike actions do not necessarily translate to the answers that they seek, but it kind of gives them a certain kind of traction. So again, I don't know. It's
Why should anyone strike for their wages to be paid?
Exactly my point. So why is this where we've gotten to in Nigeria, where before we get paid our salaries, we have to go on a strike action and carry placards on the streets and say, pay us our salaries? It's just a very frustrating process, especially when you have these teachers who directly interface with your children. You should be concerned, because if you have a frustrated teacher, you're going to have a frustrated student.
Well, 6:51 right here. We're going through the papers, the headlines this morning, and getting your reactions. We'll take 2 quick phone calls and some of your messages. Once you get through, you would have between 45 to 60 seconds to share that thought. So please go straight to it. Good morning.
Yeah, hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Barry Hassan.
Please go ahead.
I greet all the listeners. I greet all the callers as well.
Yes, sir.
I'm not happy about the way politicians are putting undue emphasis on 2027. They're talking about the daughter of Okowa Delta switching to APC. We are talking about 2027. People are dying in 2025. People cannot eat. People cannot go to school. They have no houses. Boko Haram is all over the place. What I want us to do in this country, I'm reading a book on collective governance. Members of the other party should team up with the APC government of Bola Tinubu, so that we find common solutions to our common problems. No matter every day we wake up, we criticize the government. Government has done this. The government cannot do this. Let us adopt a common approach.
All right.
Common problems.
All
and
right.
I know it can be done. Thank you for giving the opportunity. May God bless all Nigerians.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, the boys. I'm
Welcome.
watching you live. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
You are back.
I am.
The beautiful angel. You are sharing the same voice with somebody, right? And that's what my brother was
Apparently.
telling you.
Good morning.
I'm happy to speak with you. How are you, ma'am?
Very well. You're welcome.
Don't worry. Anytime from now, we'll be back. We'll go full drag back. There's no time. Angel, you are the one that made me to call you this morning. You are talking of INEC. Are you aware that before now we do hear people say Supreme Court governor? And that statement is an aberration, because we are not supposed to have Supreme Court governor. But as I speak to you, in some part of the country, you hear some people say this person is INEC select governor. When they say it, they are not remorseful about it. Reason being that they feared that they will come out, cast their vote, but INEC have the final say. I think it's about time we address that issue. We shouldn't have governors or anybody elected and the person will be called Supreme Court governor or INEC select governor. People say that because they believe that the process is not free and fair. Ma, how can you start match? At the middle of the match, you remove the post and nobody is saying anything about it. When you go to court, they will tell you that yes, though they set these rules, but it's not binding. The Constitution is more sacrosanct and important. I have the final say than INEC rules. Finally, I expected you to talk about the interview that Onopasa granted, and maybe some other time.
All right.
Brother, there is issue that... All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Our politicians have nothing to offer. That is why they are jumping from one party to the other, is what James in Durumi is sharing. And Upperland is wishing us a great week, a great start to our week. Thank you very much. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back at 7, it'll be time for The Lead.
More talk, news, and sports after this. Updates.
Extra value don't land though. We don't resound now. We don't raise.
This is Nigeria Info.